Have you ever stopped to really look at your arm, turning it this way and that under the light? Ever notice those blue lines snaking just beneath the surface of your skin, a roadmap etched onto your very being? And does a question pop into your head, a little spark of curiosity igniting in your mind? Do you wonder if your blood is actually blue, a cool cerulean river flowing through your veins? For centuries, people believed blood was blue in your veins. It was a widely held notion, passed down through generations, a fundamental understanding of the human body. The thinking was that blood was blue within the body, and only turned red when exposed to the life-giving properties of air. It seemed logical, a simple explanation for a complex system. The myth even inspired the term blue blood for royalty, a phrase synonymous with nobility and high social standing. It was believed that their blood was somehow special, purer, and more refined than the common folk, a visible marker of their elevated status. But is it true? Is there any scientific basis to this long-held belief? Think about it for a moment. If blood were really blue, wouldn't bruises look blue, a vibrant azure mark upon the skin, instead of purple, the telltale sign of a healing injury, or green, as the bruise begins to fade and the body starts to repair itself, or even yellow, the final whisper of the trauma as it disappears from view? Science is about questioning what we see, challenging assumptions, and digging deeper to uncover the truth. It's about not accepting things at face value. So let's tackle this head-on. Why do veins look blue through the skin, creating this illusion? Why is it that blood is always undeniably red when we see it outside the body, a vibrant crimson liquid? Sometimes our eyes play tricks on us, deceiving us with perceptions that don't quite align with reality. And in this case, the real explanation behind the blue veins is even cooler, more fascinating, and more scientifically sound than the age-old myth. Ready to bust this myth wide open and uncover the scientific truth behind the color of your veins? Let's dive in and explore the amazing world of human physiology. Have you ever wondered about the color of your blood? Perhaps you've heard the myth that it turns blue inside your veins. Well, prepare to have that notion dispelled. Here's the truth: your blood is always red, inside and out, circulating through your arteries and veins alike. Whether it's oxygen-rich or not, the fundamental color remains within the red spectrum. The shade might vary, but the base color stays consistent. The color comes from hemoglobin, the unsung hero of our circulatory system. Hemoglobin is a protein in red blood cells, and it's responsible for carrying oxygen throughout your body. This remarkable protein has iron at its core, which is the key to its oxygen-binding capabilities, and of course, its red hue. When hemoglobin grabs oxygen in the lungs, a fascinating transformation occurs. The blood, now fully oxygenated, looks bright red. This is the color of arterial blood, coursing through your body to deliver life-sustaining oxygen to your tissues and organs. Conversely, when blood returns to the heart and lungs, having delivered its oxygen cargo, it's low on oxygen. In this state, it turns a darker maroon red. It's still red, mind you, just a different shade reflecting its oxygen saturation. Think of it like a sports car, gleaming under the sun, versus a velvet curtain, both undeniably red, just different shades, each with its own unique character. So, at no point does your blood ever turn blue despite what you might have been told. That's pure fiction, a misconception that has somehow permeated popular culture. The idea of blue blood is a fun myth, perhaps stemming from old aristocratic notions, but science shows us through rigorous study and observation, the real story is all about shades of red, a spectrum of crimson hues reflecting the oxygen levels within our blood. So if the blood isn't blue, let's find out why veins look blue through our skin. We'll explore the fascinating interplay of light and perception to understand why veins appear blue, even if the blood inside is always red. If blood is always red, why do veins look blue? The answer lies in how light interacts with your skin and tissues. Your skin acts like a filter, scattering red light and letting blue light reflect back more easily. The dark blood in your veins absorbs red light, so less of it returns to your eyes. Blue light, scattered by the skin above the vein, bounces back, making veins appear blue. It's not the vein or the blood that's blue. It's an optical illusion. Our brains interpret the lack of red and the presence of scattered blue as blue veins. Wild, right? Let's break it down further, shall we? Imagine your skin as a vigilant bouncer, carefully controlling which light waves get through. Red light, with its longer wavelength, gets in deep and is readily absorbed by the blood coursing through your veins. Conversely, blue light, having a shorter wavelength, is mostly bounced back at the surface of your skin. Only veins that are quite close to the skin, about half a millimeter deep, appear to look blue to the naked eye, all thanks to this fascinating light trick. Deeper veins residing further beneath the surface don't show up at all, and veins that are closer to the surface can sometimes look more reddish in tone. Therefore, the blue color we perceive is just an illusion, cleverly created by the way light travels and interacts through the layers of your skin. Science reveals the intriguing truth. What we see with our eyes isn't always an accurate representation of what's really there. Ultimately, our perception is simply an interpretation, a constructed reality, and not reality itself. Light travels in waves. Red light has long wavelengths. Blue light has short ones. Your skin scatters blue light, easily bouncing it back, while red light penetrates deeper and gets absorbed. This is the same reason the sky looks blue. Blue light scatters more in the atmosphere. Medical devices like pulse oximeters use this principle, shining red and infrared light through your finger to measure oxygen. When you look at your wrist, you're seeing red light absorbed by blood and blue light scattered back by skin. Your brain combines these signals and sees a blue vein. It's a beautiful, everyday science trick. Alright, science enthusiasts, are you ready to dive into a fascinating experiment that will challenge your perceptions? It's time for a hands-on experiment. We're going to explore why our veins appear blue, even though the blood inside them is red. To start, find a spot on your body where your veins are clearly visible. A great place to check is the inside of your wrist. Make sure you have good lighting so you can observe them properly. Take a good look. Observe their color under normal light conditions. What shade of blue do you perceive? Is it a deep, vibrant blue or a more subtle hue? Pay attention to the details, as this is our baseline observation. Notice how the veins appear against your skin tone in the ambient light. Now, for the fun part, grab a red light source like a red flashlight or even a red filter over your phone's flashlight. Shine that red light directly onto your arm, focusing on the area where you observe your veins. What happens? Observe closely. Under the red light, your veins almost disappear. The bluish tint seems to fade away, becoming much less prominent. This is a crucial clue to understanding the illusion of blue veins. Next, let's switch things up. Try a blue light. Again, use a blue flashlight or a blue filter over your phone's light. With the blue light shining on your arm, do your veins look different compared to how they appeared under normal light or even under the red light? Do they appear more vibrant or perhaps the same? You see, the illusion changes dramatically depending on the light source. The way we perceive color is heavily influenced by the light that illuminates the object. This simple experiment beautifully proves that the color you see is fundamentally dependent on the light that's shining on the object, and how that light interacts with your eyes. It's all about wavelengths and perception. The color isn't an inherent property of the blood itself. Blood, whether in your veins or arteries, is always red due to the presence of hemoglobin. Think about it this way. If veins were truly blue, possessing an intrinsic blue pigment, they would consistently appear blue under any light source, regardless of its color. But as you've just witnessed, they don't. The change in appearance under different colored lights reveals the truth. Right before your eyes, you're witnessing science in action, demystifying a common misconception about the human body. The apparent blue color is simply a trick of absorption and reflection of light as it passes through your skin and interacts with the blood vessels beneath. By actively experimenting and observing these phenomena, you're not just passively learning about science from a textbook or a screen. You're actively engaging with it, questioning assumptions, and discovering the underlying principles for yourself. You're doing it. The blue color you thought you saw is, in reality, a phantom, a visual effect created by the way light interacts with your skin and blood. It's all created by the fascinating physics of light, absorption, and reflection, proving that sometimes what we see isn't always what's real. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep experimenting. So, the blue blood myth is officially busted. Your blood is always red thanks to iron and hemoglobin, never blue. The blue appearance of veins is a fascinating optical illusion, not a biological fact. It's all about how light interacts with your skin and blood and how your brain interprets those signals. Science shows us that reality is often more amazing than myth. Next time someone mentions blue blood, you can explain the real story, and maybe challenge them to try the light experiment. Science belongs to everyone, and now you know the truth. Blood is red, and that's the real magic beneath your skin.